the 10 freeway here. I got in my car and I said, I go into the car and off we go, down, don't drive too slow. The melody from it.
Once that opening number gets into your head, it's hard to get out.
Yeah, it is.
All right, in this infamous show led to a bunch of actual injuries among its cast, but Act 1 ends with an out-of-control science experiment that turns Norman Osborn into the Green Goblin.
With Spider-Man? Yeah.
Yes, Spider-Man Turn Up the Dark.
So, I saw the first preview of that show.
And?
It stopped 5-6 times before the first act was over. Cinnamon roll, I'm thinking like...
not cinnamon roll, but cinnamon... Cinnamon bunion, that is correct.
As soon as I read cinnamon bun, I smell it.
You smell it. Isn't that amazing? Yeah. Me too. I like talking about it too because I gained... I'm not kidding, I gained over 20 pounds during COVID, right, over the year. And I just lost like 11 pounds. So even talking pastry, I'm like, oh, you killed to have it so I love it.
Okay, the only thing harder than passing up on one of these tart, sugar-coated, chewy candies is passing one of these hard calcium deposits.
Sugar-coated, chewy...
They're tart, sugar-coated, chewy candies.
Sour Patch Kids Stone. Sour Patch Kidney Stone.
That's it?
Yeah.
Yes! Adorable! Isn't that adorable? As a matter of fact, I feel like I knew someone that was passed a kidney stone and then they got to take the kidney stone home with them or something, or could look at it in a jar.
I have mine.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, here's another one. These oval Pepperidge Farm sandwich cookies are delicate and a bit dry, just like your nasal membrane when the heat is cranked up in your apartment.
Milanos?
Milanos is the first part. And what's the thing that happens sometimes in the winter when your nasal membranes get dry and...
Milan nosebleed?
Yes.
Kara Weinberger. Ask Me Another is produced by Travis Larchuk, Nancy Sachap, James Barber, and Ramel Wood. Our senior supervising producer is Rachel Neal, and our boss's bosses are Steve Nelson and Anya Grundman. Thanks to our production partner, WNYC. I'm her right begonias.
Ophira Osborne.
And this was Ask Me Another from NPR. Support for NPR comes from this station and from Aspiration, a digital banking alternative designed for people who care about the environment. Customers can plant a tree with every swipe of their debit card to offset their carbon footprint. Aspiration.com/green. And the University at Buffalo, where UB bioengineers are using microtissues to find new drug treatments for life-threatening lung diseases. Learn more at buffalo.edu/NPR. This is NPR.
This is News 889 KNPR Las Vegas.
91.7 KLNO Anaca and KTPH Tonopah. 88.7 KWPR Mangili.
89.3 KLKR Elko.
89.1 KPNV Sun Valley, Reno.
KNPR.org.
Classical on HD2 and jazz on HD3.
As we continue to work our way back from the economic challenges of the COVID pandemic, remember that supporting KNPR can be a great way to remind our listeners that your business is still open and ready to serve customers. To learn how supporting our radio service can be a transaction where everyone wins, call us during business hours at 702-258-9895. This is Nevada Public Radio, News 889, KNPR, and KNPR.org.
I'm Shankar Vedantam, and from NPR. I'm Shankar Vedantam, and from NPR, this is Hidden Brain. Each week, we delve into the unconscious patterns driving our behavior. Through science,
not a lot of people know that this is happening.
I fell off my chair when I saw the initial set of results.
And storytelling.
Just did something extremely
We give them new ways to see ourselves.
There's more than a The building was home to residential apartments as well as several media offices, including the Associated Press and Al Jazeera. AP President and CEO Gary Pruitt said he was shocked and horrified by the attack. He said the Israeli military has long known the building was home to journalists. The Israel Defense Force said the building was used by Hamas intelligence officers and used civilian offices as a human shield. The IDF gave about an hour's notice to civilians to evacuate before fighter jets destroyed the building. This week, Hamas has fired hundreds of rockets into Israel, which have hit Gaza with area and artillery fire. At least 139 people have been killed in Gaza and 8 more in Israel. Dustin Jones, NPR News.
Gas stations in the Washington area are dealing with gas shortages after the ransomware attack on the Colonial Pipeline this week. Dominique Maria Bonessi from member station WAMU has more.
Panic buying and slow restoration of fuel at gas stations in the D.C. area have caused widespread outages. Almost 80% of the stations in D.C., 37% in Virginia, and 35% in Maryland are experiencing outages, according to GasBuddy.com. The Energy Department says gas availability should be back to normal within a few days, but Patrick Dehan, an analyst with GasBuddy.com, says it could take weeks to restore fuel at stations. DC area residents took to Twitter this week, posting videos of long lines at the pump and signs saying out of fuel. For NPR News, I'm Dominique Maria Bonessi.
Rumbauer has won the 146 Run to Victory Stakes, the second leg of the Triple Crown. The Kentucky Derby winner Medina Spirit had the lead from the start, but made it back at the end. You're listening to NPR News. Three of the biggest names of the NBA over the past 25 years will be inducted into the Basketball Hall of Fame tonight. Kevin Garnett, Tim Duncan, and late Kobe Bryant. This after their planned induction late last year was postponed by the pandemic. In Namibia, an increase in COVID-19-related hospitalizations has led to a shortage of beds in the intensive care units in the capital of India. The country experienced a spike in new cases recently. Ishmael Kumar has more.
In addition to the ICU shortage, India's health is population. Some hospitals are experiencing a shortage of oxygen. The majority of the 166 ICU beds in the country are just over 2.5 million people are in critical. So they are urged to be vaccinated to contact to accommodate to COVID-19 prevention protocols. To date, 14,000 people have received the first dose of the COVID-19 vaccine. For COVID news, I am Rich from WAMU.
In Florida, the state's major amusement parks are adjusting their face mask policies after the CDC eased guidance on mask wearing for people who are fully vaccinated. Visitors to Walt Disney World and Universal Studios don't have to wear masks outside except when they're on a ride or in line, and masks are still mandatory inside. SeaWorld Orlando and its sister park, Pebbles Busch Gardens, are going even further, allowing guests who say they are fully vaccinated to remove their masks throughout the parks. This is NPR News.
Support for NPR comes from NPR stations. Other contributors include the Kaufman Foundation, working together with communities to break down barriers and prepare all people for success in their jobs and careers as employees or entrepreneurs. More online at Kaufman.org.
Their own from leadership because of the criticism of former President Trump. Now, other high-profile Republicans say it's time to consider a new party.
We need to try to reach those who are finally coming to the point of saying, "I'm sorry, I know this is not me," and I've heard from many of those people.
Former New Jersey Governor Christine Todd Whitmore. That's all things considered from NPR News.
Tonight at 5 p.m.
From NPR, this is Hidden Brain. I'm Shankar Vedantam.
I felt like I'd lost touch with who I was. That I was somebody else. I was my shadow side or something. I don't know.
Have you ever felt as if someone else was writing your story, controlling what you do, shaping how you act? Usually when this happens, the currents that hold us captive come from the outside world. But sometimes, external forces can be amplified by the currents inside our own minds, the rules that we've been taught, the mandates that we've internalized. This week on Hidden Brain, a surreal story about a very strange cloud and the scripts inside our heads.
I never became a stranger. I was like a hypnotized person. I wasn't me, and yet I was.
getting Jane and her brother to mind their manners at the dinner table.
If one of us put a meal on the table, there was a long metal strap under the table that my father would reach around the person at the table, and he would pluck it with his thumb like a cricket custard, and the whole table would resonate with this tone. And we would American kids, and yet at the same time he was very powerfully shaped by his parents' former homes in Sweden and Denmark.
A few years after Jane's mother left, a new woman entered their lives. Lorraine.
Very psychological friend of mine who would have a breakdown if we answered medical questions that I knew that she wanted us to do.
Jane's father married her, and Jane quickly learned to read her stepmother's moods.
And she was happy and just realized she wasn't seeing what she liked or something. And it was working with her to get her in her mind. He would become this kind of
The scripts we learn in childhood often stay with us as we grow up. By the time Jane was a teenager, she had firmly internalized the family rules. Don't make a fuss. Keep your head down. Put other people first. But Jane was to find, as many of us discover, that the scripts that serve us well in one context can harm us in another.
What the hell is this shit?
lady. And the next thing I know, I was face down.
All right, let's get our first guest on over to the Livewire house party. We're going to be talking to Alyssa Washida about her new book, which is called Lightning.
Check it out! the smell of fresh baked bread, and at Port of Sobs, your neighborhood sandwich shop, we bake our bread daily. For a limited time, we're baking our customer favorite garlic parmesan bread. Soft, warm white bread sprinkled with garlic and parmesan. It's the taste you'll crave. Port of Sobs, your neighborhood sandwich shop. Order online at portofsubs.com for takeout, pickup, curbside, and delivery.
Don't miss out on Clean Car Month at O'Reilly Auto Parts. If your car could use a spring cleaning, stop by for great deals on everything you need to keep your car looking new. Like Mother's California Gold Wash and Wax, just $4.99 for a 64-ounce bottle. That's a $6 savings. Visit the professional parts people at O'Reilly Auto Parts today or O'ReillyAuto.com.
For the ones who get going when the going gets tough, and the ones who know we're tougher together. For the pathfinders breaking new ground, Granger offers supplies and solutions for every industry, as well as fast access to expert 24/7 customer support. You know you have people depending on you. You always depend on us. Call or click Granger.com or just stop by. Granger, for the ones who get it done. With food problems, things are much harder, like finding an apple opener. Trying to sleep apnea. But struggle to get a good night's sleep. Relief can be as easy as a button with Inspire.
Inspire is a sleep apnea treatment that works inside your body and is designed to cover a lot. No mask, no gloves, no masks. To learn more, visit InspireSleep.com. Inspire. Sleep apnea innovation. Inspire is not for everyone. Talk to your doctor to see if it's right for you and review important safety information at InspireSleep.com.
When you're looking to sell a firearm, your first option is Street and secure with Quick Pal. They are licensed by the U.S. government and many found it much more firearms. Go to cashmyguns.com and find out the type of firearm you want to sell. Upload a photo and they'll give you an appraisal and offer. It's that easy. They want to help with shipping.
Thanks for watching.
Cashmyguns.com. Go there.
And look around videos.
See
Now
how
on with
schedule.
Juice Bites, John's Bar and Grill.
Refresh now, busted a move.